Executive Residences, Dubai Hills Estate. Is it a good deal or is it not? Is it a good property to buy and hold or is it not? That's a question I got yesterday from Eric. Welcome to The Brief. I'm Makram Hani, analyzing properties so that you and Eric can be more informed. So the property offered to Eric is in Dubai Hills Estate, Executive Residences 2. It's a 2-bedroom apartment. It's a property under construction. Dubai Hills Estate, as we know, is a prominent area. It's near to approximately everywhere in the city, and it's centrally located, centrally positioned. So in general, it's a good location. It's a good community. It's a mixed-use community. It has retail, commercial space, as well as it's an experienced community, I would say, because it has mostly villas, few buildings. Executive Residence is a building with a spark of something good, and we'll talk about it in a second. It's an Amar development, and as we know, Amar is a recommended developer. Generally, they build decent property. They are specialists in building communities, I would say. So, yes, building a good tower or a good building or a good master plan is something important, but the most important is the upkeep of the property, is creating that experience. The good master plan is very important whenever you're in such an area. This area is, in my view, a very prominent area. I like Dubai Hills Estate, and I like what it is gonna become and where is it going as we see it's progressing on a daily basis. Now, Eric have been offered this property for 2,132,888 dirhams. I suspect from the price that it's offered from Amar directly, from the developer directly, because Amar adds 888 to the prices of property, but it may be a market resale, and I don't know that detail, so I'm not sure of it. It's a size of 1,250 square foot approximately. Comparable prices in resale are between 1.8 and 1.9 million. And here we start with the reason why I wouldn't go through a regular analysis looking at cash flow and looking at how would this property perform in the future and what's the potential for this property in the future. So our session today is more than analyzing a single property, is telling you what is a no-go in a property or how to think of it. Now, the question I've asked Eric, but I didn't get an answer from Eric yet because I asked it very early morning, is, Eric, is there a reason you would be interested in this property at 2,132,000 dirhams, while similar property, which is slightly smaller in size, is 1,100 square foot approximately, is selling for approximately 1.8, 1.9 million dirhams. Now, I suspect that Eric have seen that in the market because no one doesn't see the market, but people buy for their own reasons and buy specific stuff for their own reasons. If you buy from Amar, in general, it's an easier purchase. You buy from Amar, you know that you wouldn't go wrong in general from a process perspective because they're a decent company. You're sure that they're doing the right thing, and you're sure that whatever you're seeing in front of you will get you to owning this property. However, in Dubai, that's relatively also true in general. Yeah, I would say that the process is pretty straightforward, and in general, it's very difficult to go wrong buying a property if you have a very acceptable amount of attention to detail and you're not ignorant about the process. So we look at that property and we say, is it the right property to purchase? Prior to us looking at the rental returns, at the cash on cash returns, anything similar to that. Now, if Eric is getting a super payment plan on this, while he's not able to get on a 1.8 or a 1.9 million property in the market a similar payment plan, then what he's getting is the time value for money. And in other words, he's getting the value, the cost of money for that time is what he is paying slightly more for. Now, it's not slightly more, it's significantly more for. So in general, I would wonder, unless he has a super payment plan, why would he pay that much? As far as I know from him, I wouldn't tell you the floor he shared with me. It's a low floor property. I've looked through the project. It's probably a property with a bigger terrace than usual, with a bigger balcony than usual, which makes it slightly bigger than the other properties. However, it's not one of those that has a giant garden or a giant terrace, which becomes useless or of less use whenever it goes above a certain ratio to the internal area. If I'm looking at that property today and I don't have a payment plan, I would say I definitely wouldn't buy it. I would go and buy a 1.8, 1.9 million dirhams property in the market. Now, if I'm looking at that property and it does have a payment plan, I would need to evaluate what is the cost of money to me if I'm going for a mortgage here. Because I can still go for a mortgage and I'll pay approximately 3.2% interest rate, and I will get this mortgage and I will be able to own that property without shedding out so much cash. Now, and 3.2% interest is cheaper than paying 15% upfront for a property. Now, here is the question. Is he eligible for a mortgage? If he's not eligible for a mortgage, then probably his only option, and he doesn't have the cash and the down payment, his only option is to buy something similar to that. And I believe then that then becomes a decent alternative. So I'll give you an example. I was buying a property recently from someone who has a deal with the developer to pay the rest of the money on handover. The property was getting handed over. So I was buying from him, he paid 50% or 40%, and 60% is due to be paid to the developer. Now, that 60%, and let's say, I'll not give numbers here, but let's say the property I was buying at 1 million dirhams. That 60% is something he didn't have. So we went and negotiated with the developer to pay this on installments. Definitely the developer has no interest to do so, so the developer rejected. What I offered at that point of time is, how about if I pay you more than the 600,000 dirhams due? And the developer said, okay, tell me more. And I said, I calculated my numbers and I said, okay, you know what? If I pay them 1.1 million dirhams, which is 100,000 more, I would still be making sense to myself because I'll be getting what's similar to a mortgage. I'll pay over a 3-year. I'll have an advantage to sell in the market if I want to sell it. I have a good advantage because I'm not putting out so much cash because I was buying it at under his OP. So my down payment was below what he paid already. So it was great for my cash flow. And then the developer accepted. The guy was shocked and he said, if that deal was available to me, I would have taken it. I would have sold the unit maybe. So be lucrative in your approach. Again, I didn't go through a regular process of evaluating this property today because my evaluation of it stops here until I get more knowledge, and we can continue. So if Eric gives us more details, and he will probably send us more details in a day or two, we'll continue on understanding better. This is a perfect example of someone who's offered something in the market and needs to decide if that's the right purchase and the right property and the right purchase criteria and the right approach or not. Eric, thank you for your question. Everyone, I hope that I've added value to you today. I hope that I've made it easier for you to understand what is available in the market and how to evaluate something in the market or not. By the way, for those who are asking, because I received questions on how are you getting comparable resale prices, I tell them, no, it's not simply going on portals and looking at a property or a verified property or a true post or whatever. In Dubai, we look at mainly Property Finder and Bayut. No, it's slightly more than that. You need to contact agents, and I would say you need to contact good quality agents and decent quality agents. Now, I happen to own property in the same area, and in the morning today, I've contacted an agent who is an expert in that area, and the agent gave me feedback that he feels on the ground daily that I wouldn't have. So today, if I want to evaluate an area, trust me, no one knows everything about every area every day. If there is a resident in an area, sometimes he knows more than the agents that are not specialized in the area what's happening in the area, what's happening in that building, because he lives it inside out. I thank you for tuning in. This is The Brief, and I'm Makram Hani, analyzing property. Have a good day.